So Necro. Yeah, so Necro. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, buddy. Because I get it. Like, you've never had pushback, and now you're finding out that you're going to be deported. So my thing to you is, do you believe a country has the right to determine?
That's right. You get your 10% off at Home Depot.
Do you believe that a country has a right?
It's a good benefit. Don't knock it till you try.
Do you think that Muslims have the right to do what you're doing?
I asked you a specific question. Can you please answer it? You answer it?
Do you think Muslims have the right to do what you're doing?
To do what?
Do you think Muslims have the right to do what you're doing?
They already do it in their own countries.
No.
Yes, they do.
Country,
Muslims do it in their own countries. Are you fucking serious?
Our airport, because anytime you have to damn do a frigging connecting flight, the mother frigging connection. Listen,
one in Chicago.
Linda,
I will never do it again.
the connecting flight is always on the other side of the world, and I always have to do the fucking OJ. Right, I always have to do the OJ Hertz fucking run across the fucking side of the other world. I hate that shit, and it is fuck. Yeah, it's fuck Chicago O'Hara. So I just want y'all to know, fuck O'Hara. I do not like O'Hara Airport. That is the one place I
don't like
hate
South
to go
Carolina either. Y'all need to do better with your food selection.
Yeah, Charlotte, they always got fucking construction. Why are y'all always under construction in fucking Charlotte?
They always a work in progress. That's why.
The best airport, the best airport that I've flown into and out of is my airport, MSP.
That's all Minneapolis.
Yep. That's the best airport I've been
Delta.
to.
The only reason you say that because it's Delta. It's a big ass hub, and they invested so much money in it. It's actually pretty now. It's actually a really nice one.
By the way, I think it's Delta at LaGuardia. By the way.
It's also Delta Atlanta. That's a bad airport.
I haven't been to LGA yet.
Delta is what do you mean? I thought JetBlue was the hub of JFK and LaGuardia.
No, JetBlue's the hub in JFK.
I thought, they just go to LaGuardia because I've flown in flown in JetBlue in LaGuardia as well.
JetBlue had a hub in JFK.
Both.
Both? Okay. Yeah, I don't know JetBlue too well because I
love JetBlue.
Yeah, they got a good terminal over there.
Okay.
I like JetBlue a lot.
Yeah,
that's my airline.
Lisa, you know where I like flying into because it's so fucking easy?
Where?
Burbank
is the shit. Let me tell you something. I love Burbank. That is my favorite fucking
country. It don't get no easier to get in and out.
LAX.
They got the smallest little parking garage. You get right to your gate is going to be like 5-minute walk.
Damn right.
You know what I mean?
In and out.
The tickets are going to be a little bit more expensive than the LAX, but it's worth it. Exactly.
Listen, I live close to Long Beach, so I would argue that Long Beach is an easy one.
No, it's not Burbank.
No. I hear about Burbank. Burbank is a hype for me.
I used to manage LGB. I literally just left there in June for Hawaiian, and they have a black mayor. He's really nice.
Yep.
He did expansions for LGB, and they just upgraded that airport. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, I flew to Hawaii out there, man.
He repaid for small private planes that was so small. I was like,
but no, they did upgrades. He repaved all the roads. They redid 2 concourses. And they're actually trying to do some traction and bring some business. So shout out to Long Beach Airport.
Yeah, no, Rez,
I'm trying to be funny, but it's really nice.
Rez, I live about the same distance from John Wayne Airport as I do to Long Beach, and I prefer flying out of Long Beach over John Wayne.
Yeah, John Wayne is hard. You know, John Wayne can't accept flights after a certain time.
Yeah, that's the only thing is that what you call it. Yeah.
And you want a crazy flight out of an airport? Fly out of John Wayne because it's near the snooty Newport Beach and all those people who live on the beach.
Yeah,
they fly you out of that bitch like you in a space shuttle.
Yeah.
And then they kill the engines.
So they kill the engines. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't fuck around.
They have that no after something.
That shit is the craziest shit I've ever
That shit is crazy as hell.
PM.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. That killing the engine
Yeah,
shit. I'm like, yo, y'all ain't gonna have me
crazy
stuck.
work right
Have
there.
me
I'm
crash
like,
in the middle of the damn. What we talking about? That shit
right
is
into
weird.
the 405 or
Right.
5 or
Hello?
whatever is right there.
Yeah, I'm good.
No, you
Yep,
know what
yep,
else is
yep.
a good airport is Palm Springs. If you ever get a chance to do
They
that.
have an airport?
Mm-hmm.
It's a small one though. It's a small one.
It's a
They
small
must
one.
have one
I'm just
runway.
saying, it's one of them in and outs. You know.
Yeah, it's an in and out. Yeah, but it's probably hella expensive. I'm quite sure like during Coachella and all that,
Like
all
the
the private
Congress.
planes be up in there. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
expensive as
It's
shit to
mad
fly in
crazy.
there.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't even know they had an airport.
I didn't know they
Now
had
I'm
an
gonna tell
airport
y'all
either.
so. Now I'm gonna tell y'all an
It's a
airport.
small joint.
I'm going to tell you an airport, if you fly internationally, if you ever get an opportunity and you really will fall in love with it, is Doha Airport in Qatar.
Oh,
It
I
is
was
one
gonna
of the
say, I
most
bet you Qatar has a
beautiful-
nice one.
It is one of the most beautiful airports in the world.
Their planes are
Absolutely.
unbelievable. Why wouldn't their airports be?
I used to work for Qatar. I was one of their regionals. Yes. You could see it on my Instagram. I used to work for Qatar.
She ain't
And
got flex on us
so
like
I
that.
do-
She ain't got
I
no
used to- yeah.
Where's out here flexing?
I was one of their regionals. Yeah, before I jumped over to one of the big
Just
five.
go ahead and mute up, Rez. You just flex.
Why? Why?
No,
It's
she
all
gonna
good.
blow a
It's all
muscle
good.
flexing like that.
Yeah, I'm
No,
kidding.
but let me tell you something. Their service is bar none.
Oh,
So
I bet.
there's a pic, and you will see there's a picture of me and Lil Baby, right? He went to actually perform at FIFA. I actually went to FIFA.
She's
when,
owning her own business. Now she
we
works
got
on a
tickets.
shop
We
in
were
another part of
invited as
California.
regional managers,
She lost her
and we
wholesale.
got tickets, and we got to answer. I got to see the Brazil Cameroon match. This was the year that Pele passed. It was the soccer match just before, and it was the first time an African team had actually won against Brazil. It didn't really mean anything. It was more symbolic than anything because Brazil, of course, went on into the semi-cup. But when Cameroon beat them, they won 1-0. It was really amazing. The Cameroonians was dancing and singing. It was just a lot of fun. But the airport is absolutely beautiful. And Qatar is a beautiful place to go to. So you get a chance to go on that 777, do that business class and do it up because it's an experience.
You know what? I just Googled it. They said the most beautiful airport in the world is in China.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't done China yet.
Yeah.
China's on my bucket list. We did
They
our
won award and everything.
We did our launch this week. Our first launch from Seattle to Incheon, Korea this week. So we did our first launch, and then we will do our next launch, which I am going to be doing that plane ride next month to Japan. So yes.
I like flying into Japan. I done flew into Narita a few times.
Yeah, I'm my daughter's graduating from high school, and that's our trip. We're going to take her to Japan.
Nice.
May, June, yeah.
Nice. Congrats.
Love Japan.
Did you guys get an opportunity to see that the Vatican opened up their actual doors to the voices of, I can't remember the name.
Malice,
Yes, listen.
the first rappers to ever
Yeah,
play
the
the
first-
Vatican.
listen.
My favorite rap group
I saw
ever.
the whole thing.
Riz.
John Legend, and they streamed it on Disney, Hulu, and quite a few different places to talk about something positive, right?
Riz.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to flex on you real quick because I just did an interview with Malice, and I'm going to be dropping that on my channel. So I just wanted to say that.
Oh, please, I really want to hear that. Oh, that's a super dope flex. You go, boy. Please let me know when you do that.
No, I'll drop the link. I'll bring the link in here.
Let me hear. When you drop the link, I definitely.
I mean, he's very humble. Like everything about him is real humble.
They're gonna win a Grammy for that
He's
song. I
real
just want you to
quiet,
know that, Gemini. Gemini, they're gonna win a Grammy for that song.
For this album. They should.
Yeah, that album is super
That album
dope.
is fire.
But let me just say this to you: what they did at the Vatican when they filmed that, they have Listen, that's never been done before. Never, ever, ever been done before. So shout out to these Black folks that did this, okay? And again, with all the craziness that we got going on here in the United States, you can see that other people in the world are still embracing us. And that's what I wanted to say. I'm going to go on.
I do want to say I know I'm biased. I'm biased as fuck because I know dude, but that album was a classic in my opinion.
Instantly, they killed it. But I will say, I don't know if y'all heard the "So Be It" song. The very first it has two different beats, and they couldn't get it clear first, so they changed it. I didn't know that. They changed it too.
I didn't know it.
Yeah. The sample had got that little Arabic
with the Indian, with the Arabic.
Yeah, I like the one. I like the one that they had first with like the kind of like dramatic gothic opera things in the back. That's the only thing I don't like about the album, but other than that, it's 10 out of 10 for me. FICO.
Yeah, what I know is that it's not good news for trans people in America. That's what
it's crazy, Trav. I wish you was here like the first 2 days. Like the first 48 hours was insane in this room. So I told some of the prominent, rainbow niggas in chillism, I told them this before we knew anything with the trans stuff. I told them, y'all better hope and pray that this nigga's not connected to no trans shit. Because if he is, it is all downhill for all the alphabets, not just the T's, all of them. They're all going down. Every single one of them.
King, you know what it reminds me of? These TikToks and shit of these fucking people with like 18 piercings and purple hair and like ugly as fuck, unshowered, like laughing at the phone about Charlie dying. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a woman who's dating a man who's actually good and would never hit a woman, but she wants to get in his face and be like, do something. What are you going to do? Because it's like, you don't understand how power works, and you don't understand the power dynamics here, and that the only reason you are protected is because I'm strong enough to know how much I can hurt you, and I'm choosing not to.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, that's a rude awakening for these motherfuckers, bro.
And it's crazy, Trav, because you weren't here when I said this. I grew up evangelical. So the same thing Charlie is. I kind of left it and came back to it because about a decade ago, I don't know if you're familiar with dispensationalism. Are you familiar with dispensationalism?
No.
So it's the view that white Jews are essentially God's chosen people.
Like Ashkenazi, like what we know.
The dumb shit that's connected to all of our politicians being retarded and black, and that shit. So I left that view about a decade ago. So 2014, 15-ish is when I started moving away from that. Specifically away from that view because it's a very popular view amongst evangelicals. So the reports are that Charlie was essentially doing the same thing I did a decade ago. He was starting his about a year and a half ago. That sped up in the last 6 months. And, RP to him. But one thing I've noticed is that more and more evangelicals are moving away from this view. And it's very encouraging because it's the reason why America is in the shithole that it is today when it comes to that country and our politicians. It's literally the main reason. And I'm just glad that I'm seeing more and more like well-known evangelicals, the ones who were promoting it about a decade, 2 ago, they're all now speaking a different tone. And this is why I try to tell, because a lot of people think, I think there was someone in here, his name was Chill, trying to make arguments like, no, it's like he was trying to make the argument that, evangelicals are still like that. I'm like, no, bro. Everyone's moving away from that viewpoint.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's like a supremacist at its core. It's like you can't be against supremacy and all for like white supremacy, anything in society, and then be like, but I believe that like God chose certain people, and it doesn't really matter like what you do in your life, you're either chosen or not.
The actual biblical view, Trav, is that God's chosen people are Christ followers. Anyone who follows Christ is biblically
right,
God's
which you can
chosen.
choose. Exactly.
Yeah, not some group with a specific ethnicity or DNA. No, that does not make you chosen. It is following Christ. That is the biblical view of God's chosen people. And we're not chosen to rule. We're chosen to bring the message. So there's not one of supremacy where, oh, you're greater than thou. None of that shit. Christ didn't preach any of that. Christ,
It's saying, join me. You can join me. Yeah.
Exactly. So, it's very encouraging. I agree, bro. To Charlie, but, it is what it is.
Facts, bro. And I downloaded it. I've read the Bible more in the last 3 days than I have, the last 3 months before that.
Oh, yeah?
King, I got a question for you.
That's great to hear.
Hey, go ahead, John.
Who died more like Jesus, Charlie Kirk or George Floyd?
See, that question is very
that's not something I would make that comparison with either one of those individuals. RP to both of them.
Yeah, I'll say the question is very non-Jesus-like.
Right. You know what's crazy is how...
Well, that's not my real question. My real question was... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying it's crazy how PMZ was reporting Charlie Kirk when it happened, when he died. And you just hear these fucking weirdos that work there, not the main guys, but the weirdos in the back, screaming and hollering and excitement when it was announced that he died.
Yes.
And they had to come out with an apology.
But they immediately, within 30, but that was within 3 minutes that they came out and they said, our guys were looking at something totally different that had nothing to do with Charlie.
That's not what was
Hold on. Somebody did this.
Apologized.
They literally, Patrick Bet David actually got the video of it, and they played them side by side at the time of airing and at the time of the car chase. And they literally, I'm going to explain to you, this car chase was a slow car chase. Just before the cheering, the guy goes through an intersection. The car is passing behind buildings. The cop is just slowly chasing it. There was zero action, no spin out of the car, no stopping it. The cheers start, and the car just keeps driving. So what is there to cheer about when a car is just driving down the road? They literally disproved the bullshit that TMZ said. They have to do it because guess what? We are in a cancel culture. Your staff literally just cheered at this. TMZ got buried. They had to put it out there. But when you put the footage from the chase, with the live footage from the airing of it, with the time on it, with it on TMZ, and there is nothing. There is nothing to cheer about. You watch the car just keep on driving. There was no spin out. There was no stopping them. There was no arresting them. There was absolutely no reason to cheer. And so that is a bullshit story that TMZ put out to cover their own ass.
Okay, I appreciate the
that's
answer.
also like Bella, even in my own community here in Brisbane, Australia, my local councillor, she had to resign because she put out a statement. She was like, yeah, sometimes political violence is okay. And then somebody firebombed their own fucking house. And then she was like, yeah, political violence is not okay. And then she resigned the next day. I don't want to hear this crap from these leftists, Kusumkum, son of bitches. Like,
well, you know I'm not a leftist, right?
They've been, not you, Bella. I'm not attacking you.
You sound like one, Bella.
Not you, love.
I was bringing up the question.
These people are horrible people. These people want to kill us.
No, I get it. Believe me, I get it.
Bella, you with us? Bella, you with us or them, Bella?
I'm with you, man. This is why I live in Florida, King. Because there's no questions down here. Nobody's questioning shit down here. We all know what the fuck is going on.
Let me land.
Go ahead, AJ.
I was a commander. That's MySpace. With the scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. You will not believe
the cries of this widow will be heard
and then in
around the
Australia,
world
and then I see people from my local councillor. I went to her office and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then she resigned.
I love Jessica. I don't know these ladies that much, but I really like her.
The Americans, I knew.
Oh, no, yeah, I love them. You absolutely love them.
Corey was right.
his wife
somebody
Erica
dies,
have a
what's
tattoo
the
on her
vigils.
like
They
by her
went to
ankle,
fucking church.
and it
They
has
had
something to do with
prayers.
Israel.
They
Do you
had
know anything
sermons.
about that,
They
Maze?
didn't burn down cities. They didn't hurt people. They didn't shoot anybody.
So I just
Because
like, you know,
if led with
knows
political
we're
violence,
kind of
want to
into
be
this
met with
story,
right
and
political
I was
violence,
looking at
they will be met by right
some
political
photographs of
violence.
her when she
So
was
these
posing
people
for
that think like
one of Trump's,
point the
beauty pageants or whatever. Because Trump is definitely involved in this beauty shit too.
Hold on, Erica was in Trump's beauty pageant?
Oh yeah, here I'll show you.
Yeah, you didn't know, dude? Yeah. She was one of his models. Can I tell you a shit? You said you're in Australia right now?
It gets better.
Yeah, and was it preacher or teacher that got fired because of their comments on Charlie Kirk? Was it
Counselor?
Counselor? Okay. Can I tell you as an American how fucking excited that makes me? Like, here's the deal, is that Charlie Kirk's words are going a lot further than maybe they would have ever gone while he was alive. I think he actually probably would be the president in the near future. Like 100%, I think, based on what I've learned about the political influence that he was having on the back end, how he was controlling a lot of like what senators were here, what senators were there, how to. He could have been president in the future, but it makes me so fucking proud and like excited that the Charlie Kirk movement got a chancellor fired in Australia, and that's the difference in America. That's the power that America has over the world that like everybody else around the world doesn't like to admit. But yet there it is, and that's the movement that you see in the UK, and it's like that's the movements that you see. Like it goes way further than beyond our borders.
So Bella, down here, I don't know where you're at in Florida, but in I think it was Palmetto Bay, I believe,
Can we talk about how
a post that said the sacrifice was for our Lord and Savior Smith and Wesson, something to that effect. And it was on the news tonight. And the public is losing their shit. He says he's not going anywhere.
Oh, he'll go someplace.
Oh, that's what they said. They're literally, I was in the gym at the time.
She didn't say that. Don't start putting words in her mouth. We're gonna get messages. People are gonna get mad.
Oh, you will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may not want to go. Trust me, you will be gone. I'm like going, you guys are saying some pretty freaking
Well, I mean, they're not gonna kill him. They're just gonna politically take him out,
not only in America, but I've seen people lose their jobs in the UK and Canada. So
they're gonna kill
nobody's
him.
safe.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So since I moved to Florida, I've had some like issues. Like I've had issues with some of the local sheriffs posting 11-year-old pictures about kids who were like, there's a bomb on the bus, like reenacting Keanu Reeves' speed, and then like posting their pictures so that their whole lives get ruined. So there's some stuff about the sheriffs down here and just like the culture of Florida that I'm like, oh, guys, you're going too far. But I don't know. There's like a really good feeling of like, I fucking live in Florida, so you all do whatever the hell you want. Like, all my neighbors got guns, and they aren't dealing with your bullshit.
Did you hear the one when they asked the sheriff something about some guy, I don't know if he was shooting or what the deal was exactly, but the guy was clearly not, they ended up shooting him, and they shot him a lot, and then they made a comment about the number of times they shot him, and he said it would have been more, but we ran out of bullets. I just started laughing. I was just like, if you're going to mess with the cops, I guess, you get what you get. But
do not mess with sheriffs in Florida, y'all. That's all I got to say. Don't do it.
Especially in the rural parts.
Oh, my gosh. Like, don't go down to Palatka and be messing with the sheriff.
You know what's going to be crazy, Bella? And I don't think a lot, and maybe I'll bring it up tomorrow when the room is even bigger. But I just noticed there is going to be a shit show on the Republican side for 2028 because all of the people like Candace Owens, Steve Bannon, Thomas Macy, all these folks who are who are essentially proponents of the separation of synagogue and state, meaning we need to dissolve our relationship with Israel, all of them are going to be front and center. And they're all going to use Charlie Kirk to say, like, hey, or make that divide between them and J.D. Vance. Although J.D. Vance is also a friend of Charlie Kirk, I think that, because I don't know if you've been following, the narrative surrounding the foreign intelligence agency they're alluding to that is involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, most people believe it's Israel. Most people believe it's Israel.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too.
Exactly. So, if it is the case, even if this doesn't get solved, which obviously I pray to God it does, you expect, because I'm seeing it online already, Candace Owens already said she's going to run. Expect Candace to run. Kanye's going to run. Steve Bannon's already said he's going to run. Thomas Macy's going to run. And a bunch of other people. But the thing is, all of them are going to run on it's time to separate from Israel. All of them are going to run on that.
Hold on one second, Aztec.
Wait, hold on, AJ. Let her answer. Let her answer.
So, there's one thing that I have to say about 2028, and I love JD Vance. I'm an Ohio girl at heart, even though I live in Florida now. Yeah. Like, Ohio still has my heart. So I understand where he is, where he came from, what successes he has had. But thus far, despite how much I love him, and despite how much I love what he can say at times, he is not the next leader. That's.
Oh, really?
I don't believe that JD Vance is moving. I don't believe that he's the next one to take on this movement. I just don't think that he's.
Oh wow! No, look, I'm like you, Bella. I actually wanna, because JD in my head, JD is the type of president that I would want in my head. He's the type. He's like, hey, if I wanted to vote for somebody, who would I want to vote for? JD pops up. The problem with JD is because he's super articulate, which I love to death. That's my thing. But JD has too many shady shit associated with him. Too much shady shit.
Wait, what shady shit are you talking about?
All types. Now, you know he's great for our industry. He's great for blockchain and crypto. So I'm not talking about that. But his ties to Peter Thiel, his ties to Israel, which remember I said the thing that's going to be the defining moment for this next class of runners is they're all going to run on separation of synagogue and state, separation of Israel and America.
Can I
so hold on.
Can we please finish this conversation?
Yeah, we'll get you in there, AJ. Hold on. So that, and then because his ties to Peter Thiel, the military industrial complex with the money that is essentially pushed him from a nobody six years ago into the vice presidency. There's a lot of things, and he has pictures because the thing that they're going to use, Bella, to say, okay, this should let you know you're bought by Israel, is he's gone to that wall, to that fucking satanic heretical wall, put on that fucking satanic little hat, and made those prayers. And I'm saying this as someone who is a Christian. If you're a Christian, there should be no reason why you go to that wall, take off your cross, and pray. No reason at all. Because when they come here, we don't force them to go to churches and put on a cross. So why are you being told to take off your cross and put on a hat that is not Christian and do that stuff? So the thing is, Bella, I think he's connected to too much shady shit, and I think people are not going to go for it. So
see, this is what you just pointed out to me, which is why I said I don't think that he has enough to be the next leader of the United States.
What is this?
Because
conversation.
If you hold on just 1 second, I'll get there. But so you've got to realize that, like, when you watch or read his book, that is the kid that he is. He did make it to Yale and do what he did, or was it Harvard? I don't even remember. Whichever,
Yeah,
whatever.
it was Yale. It was Yale.
It was Yale. Okay, so he did make it to Yale and of like this entire coalition, but he does not have the cojones to be the next leader of the United States of America. And I say that with a lot of love for JD, but when you saw him in Israel doing what he did, part of the reason is that in order to go from that poor kid in Ohio living with his mama and like his drug-ridden mom to go to Yale, he had to understand that like there was some sort of like cultural appropriations that he had to do, that he had to be part of, even if he was uncomfortable. And maybe that was one of them. But that's why I say he's not going to be the president of the United States next. I don't believe that he's going to be the nominee. That's just my personal opinion. And I love him to death. I really do. But that's just my personal opinion. He just does not have that alpha power to do so.
No, I definitely hear that, Bella. Go ahead, H.
I've been suffering listening to both of you guys. I don't know why your obsession is with Israel and with Jews and everything else like that. Israel is the size of New Jersey. It's a tiny, tiny country. It's independent in 1948, as you guys know. It defeated 6 Arab countries 2 times, 1948, 1967, and again in 1972. I don't understand why you think, wait a second, why you think that this tiny, tiny population of less than 15 million people, which they're like 10 million, because I've been to Israel, which less than 10 million of them live in Israel, controlling and dominating the whole world. That narrative comes from the Nazis. It comes with the Stürmer.
No one said they control the whole world.
It's such a horrible, horrible thing.
No, but hey, Chick, you gotta argue what we said.
No,
you can't argue
I'm
something we didn't say.
It's such an onslaught. I'm not accusing you personally, King Solomon.
Yeah, because you gotta deal with what was said. We said separation of synagogue and state.
But the thing, like the synagogue of Satan,
I said synagogue and state. So you know how they say separation of church and state?
The church and state, the synagogue and state?
Okay, separation of synagogue and state, meaning...
What about Islam and state?
Yeah, Islam is not married to... Okay, our politicians aren't bought and paid by Muslims. Our politicians are bought and paid by AIPAC.
Check, are you forgetting about AIPAC?
Just let me land. Wait a second, let me land. What about Qatar?
What about Qatar? I don't like Qatar either.
Qatar, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
They don't call me anti-Qatari. So why? You see that?
No, but I'm trying to tell you something. Look, there is only one Jewish state in the whole.
That's fine. No one said Israel doesn't have the right to exist.
Let it exist. Like, why doesn't it have the right to let it exist?
You gotta. Just work with me. No, work with me here.
Talking about what
work with me. You're not dealing with what we're talking about.
You're
dealing with something else. We're saying as Americans, we have a right to sovereignty. Another nation should not be dictating to our politicians how our country is going to run.
No. I think this is an old anti-Semitic.
Yeah, but that nation's really on your side.
You said no. We don't.
Let me tell you something. When Israel, Ben Gurion declared independence of the state of Israel in May 14, 1948, the vast majority of the United States government told him not to recognize the state of Israel. General George Marshall, which did the Marshall Plan, he said no. General Eisenhower, he said no. Let me ask you a question so I know if you're generally honest. Why did President Truman declare the state of Israel, recognize the state of Israel, King Solomon?
I don't know. Why did he recognize it?
Because he realized if he didn't, that the people around the Jewish people in Europe would genocide them. And he overruled all of his commanders. You overruled Eisenhower.
I'm confused. What does that have to do with today, though?
Because I'm telling you, in darkness, you have to stand up for what is true and what is right.
And that's what we're doing.
It's here.
You're not. It's here. You can't. It's here. Let me just be honest with you. I got to be honest with you. Those arguments from 40 years ago, they don't work anymore. Americans are done. We're sick and tired, bro. We're not going to be run by any other country. You can call us whatever you want to. America is done. Our foreign aid, our money belongs to Americans. No. You can't Solomon. You can't. No. You gotta listen. You gotta listen. Those arguments from 40 years ago don't work. At the end of the day, America is a sovereign nation. We do not have an obligation to fund another country, give our resources to another country when people in our own nation. Hold on, HEA, because you don't know it sounds like you don't know what's going on here in America. Americans are suffering, sir. We have our resources going to every other place but here. We have a right to our own fucking resources. And you cannot call it, you can call us whatever the fuck you want to call us. Americans have a right to our own resources. If Israel cannot survive on its own, then it does not deserve to be a nation. If they cannot protect themselves, then they don't deserve to be a nation.
Oh yeah, you're forgetting why. Why do you think Why do you think we went into Iraq? Why do you think we went into the Iraq War?
Go ahead, my brother. I can hear you.
Why do you think we went into the Iraq War? Did you forget who claimed?
Sorry.
I'm saying, did you forget who claimed there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq?
You forget, HEA? Who claimed that?
And why we went in there and we didn't find it?
And we didn't find shit, but we spent trillions of dollars.
Hold on. We found stuff, guys.
No.
You said we found stuff.
Guys, why are we even here? Priorities, guys.
He asked me a question. I want to answer his question. I don't give a shit why America went to Iraq. Saddam Hussein was the son of a bitch that deserved to die and free Kurdistan. I don't care why America went to Iraq. That's my answer.
Okay, a couple things. We can go through this. The reason we went in is because we were told with intelligence that they had weapons of mass destruction. No, they had 100,000 metric tons of yellow cake, which is used to make weapons of mass destruction, and they were working on that. They didn't have it, but yellow cake itself is not good to let them have. Next, they did have weapons they weren't supposed to have, but what pisses me off is those weapons, those chemical weapons that they used, were with the requirements and the agreements. We shouldn't have been going at it alone. Everybody should have been in with us. Why in the world do we sign agreements with these foreign countries, but yet, oh wait, they've got the Scud missiles with chemical warheads on them, and you guys are just letting us do this alone? This is the stuff that pisses me off. Okay?
Oh, you should not have gotten there.
No, listen. And then we can ask a simple question: is how many people does something have to kill to be considered a weapon of mass destruction? And Saddam Hussein himself was a weapon of mass destruction. Okay, so they had them. They had the chemical warheads. We had an agreement that if they had those, that we were all supposed to go in as a group. And this is what pisses me off about America: is hold their feet to the fire. Say, if you're going in, we're going in. This is the rule, and you're all going with us. If you're not, we're out. Because at that point, we were footing almost damn near all the bill. It's Trump that started making these people start ponying up, and most of them have. And that's just because they were finally told to do it. They need to do it. The threat is at their doorstep, not ours. But yet we're willing to be putting that foot out. Now, I have a lot of issues with the Bushes. Both of them. I think a lot of the corruption started with the Bush team in the CIA. And I know it was there back in the Kennedy days. But I'm just telling you that when we went in there was good reasons to go in there. I talked to a person who was a linguist who he was from Iraq. We went in there and did some good things, but then we left it as a shithole, just like we do everywhere. We go and just leave a disaster, just like we did in Afghanistan. We were laughed at by Russia saying, you guys are going in there, we tried that for 20 years. Good luck. They were right. Because you can't go in, and we can't as a country decide that when we're going in, we do what Colin Powell said. If you're going to go to war, you go with a damn big boot, you leave a damn big footprint. You put a boot up their ass, and you scare the world. When you don't scare the world, you let them realize we can mess with you, we can fuck with you, because you're not going to really paste us. No. You come in just like we just did, and you leveled the damn nuke system, and they didn't even know it hit them. And then they were like, holy shit. They were camping, kill America, death to American streets. We didn't hear those chances. We don't hear them as much now because they're like, okay, these guys will kill us. You gotta be able, this country's gotta be able to put that boot in somebody's ass.
Or if you're forgetting what Netanyahu said during that time, he was the big reason why we went in there. And again, back to what King Solomon was talking about. Are you forgetting the APEC and the money you keep sending? When the money needs to stay here?
No, I'll tell you the truth. APEC spent less money on politicians last year than the Qatari funding. If the Israel says that Israel, it's ridiculous. The Israeli lobby is not, Israel is not richer than Qatar. You forget this for a vital fucking fact. When anti-Semitism is the oldest form of hatred for a reason. It corrodes the mind, it destroys the soul, it's a fucking disease, anti-Semitism. Because when you start thinking about it,
criticizing the government. So put this way, just put this way.
Criticizing the government is not. We're not talking about the people. Yes, we are. We're criticizing Israel. We're not talking shit about the people.
No,
of
but
course.
I'm asking you a question. Let's ask
Yes.
you a question.
Yes.
Do you believe a state of Israel should exist?
Yes. Bro,